2016 will mark the 88th Academy Awards ceremony. This year might make uncomfortable viewing for some though, after director Spike Lee tweeted his displeasure at a lack of representation among this year's nominees.
Spike Lee has put more African Americans to work in this business than anyone else in the history of this business.
Yeah. This is not the first time the Academy has been accused of showing a lack of diversity in its nominations. Out of the 32 nominated for major awards this year, none were of a diverse background. Will Smith, Spike Lee and Jada Pinkett Smith all backed an online campaign that used the hashtag #OscarsSoWhite to get behind a campaign to boycott this year's ceremony. We went to London's leading independent cinema, the Prince Charles, to gauge the reaction of everyday filmgoers to the protest.
I mean, I think a lot of it is that the structure of the Academy that votes on the Oscars is just completely out of whack. It doesn't really have I think it's more of doesn't really have a young membership or a diverse membership. Yeah. So it tends to be just, I've heard stories before of people like giving their ballot cards to their pool cleaners and stuff so like people who mightn't even see the movies but might have heard of something will nominate that or vote for it. So it's probably a question of like, so they don't, like voters don't, or members for the Oscars don't see the movies, don't hear of the movies, but so like it's just whatever movie has the biggest marketing budget gets through, and it's just, it doesn't work, and that's why the representation thing is so bad, because smaller movies from like diverse casts and like ethnic filmmakers doesn't get seen. And there was a great movie called Tangerine. It was shot on iPhones and it starred two trans actresses as like streetwalkers, and two amazing performances like that. Much better than say like The Danish Girl, which I think was just the most hollow rubbish I have ever seen, and that's like getting all this acclaim because it has like glossy white stars.
Yeah. I was myself amazed when I saw the nominations and I looked at the pictures and I thought, where is the diversity? There have got to have been more stories told this year than just about white young people. And if you look at not just the Academy Awards, but if you look at basically any type of award out there, for the most part, almost every time, the lead roles and usually the best supporting parts as well are filled in by young white people. I know there are more stories to tell than just those stories, so it's like, are they deliberately choosing to nominate those people, or are just these the only stories that make it to a wider audience, and therefore are these the only films that are getting the votes? So I absolutely agree that there is controversy about this. Fortunately, in order for somebody to be eligible for membership, they have to have been nominated for an Academy Award. So if you want to be nominated for Academy Award, you have to have a movie that has been produced or written by or starring someone of color or another minority. So unless that happens, they can't actually do anything. So then it's just basically it's a token membership and nobody will pay any attention to it anyway. So unless that happens, basically they're stuck and no actual change can happen. So it has to start at the bottom. It has to start with these movies actually getting produced and written and starring these people. And the fact that there are influential actors and producers and writers and directors now saying we are boycotting these Oscars should imply that they are then also going to be able to now make and produce these films.